Rolling, action, okay. Welcome to the channel, and today we're going to be doing a parody of the Frisky Feast Hot Ones Challenge, where they eat from super mild wings to super spicy wings, asking interview questions throughout the whole time. And we're going to be doing a med student edition, in which I'm going to be asking my friend Marcus questions about his gap years. Are you ready?
I'm ready, but I'm very nervous. This is a little intimidating, and we're gonna do the best we can. And I'm determined to get all the way through this, Tony.
The best we can.
Let's do it.
And so we're gonna start things light. Well, first you have to bite into the wing and then ask.
So I start with this one, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Make sure you start with the right one.
Nice and easy. This is the mild one.
This is the classic.
Ooh. Oh, that's good.
It's nice.
I like that one. Kind of not really any spice at all.
No, it's just good.
Nice and tasty. Yeah, love that one.
So nice and easy. How's your first year of med school going?
I'm honestly really liking this first year of med school a lot. Being at GW is a really unique experience because you are in the capital of the country and you have a lot of unique access points to political figures and legislators, and it's just, I think it's a really good experience. I'm really enjoying it so far. It's difficult, but I knew that would come with it, so.
Okay, awesome. All right, we're gonna go to the second wing now.
Oh boy.
That's gonna be this one.
Okay.
You ready? I'm
ready, let's do it.
That one's got a little bit more heat.
Mm-hmm. Still tasty though.
It's good, yeah. So flashback to your senior year of college. Where were you in the application process? So
my senior year of college, I was planning on taking one gap year. And so I had just started to get ready to study for the Mcat and do all of that stuff. I think I studied for probably 5 months or so, not so intense during those first few months.
But that's like average.
Yeah, so I was getting, you know, all the Princeton review books and stuff. I took one of the review courses, which was super helpful, but unfortunately, my scores were just not quite where they needed to be, so I applied and ended not getting in anywhere. So I didn't get any interviews, and that was really tough because it was something that I'd worked really hard for and been doing it a long time. But, you know, I knew that was a distinct possibility going into it, and so I said, I'm gonna stay where I'm at. I was in Chicago at the time, and I said, I'll keep working, keep getting experience, and, you know, just work to get those scores up, and went from there.
Awesome. Yeah, so you mentioned that you were planning on taking one gap year.
Yes.
Why did you already have that planned out?
The gap year that I had originally planned out was, I felt like after college I needed a year to get some experience. I felt like my application would be a lot stronger if I had worked in a hospital. Prior to then, in college, I was actually working as an EMT, but the patient care experience that I was getting as an EMT was good, but it didn't have the same intensity as a hospital job. It was a lot of taking people to and from hospital locations and really kind of just driving an ambulance. So I felt like my application would be a lot stronger if I could work in, say, an emergency room, which is what I ended up doing.
Okay, yeah, and that's actually my next question, but before we get into that, we gotta go on to number 3.
Right.
We're still in like the tasty phase.
I was gonna say, these are still really good. Yeah, that's delicious.
It's starting to kick though. I can feel it.
There's a little bit, not a lot. I'm thinking I'm gonna need that first sip of milk here.
Oh, okay.
Oh boy, we're only on number 3.
Right there with you.
Cheers.
Like you mentioned, you worked in the ER. What was your role and how'd you land that job?
So I worked as an emergency room technician. The way I was able to get the job was actually due to my previous experience having worked as an EMT. A lot of hospital jobs typically require that you have field experience prior to getting it. And so I started working as an EMT my sophomore year of college, and that allowed me to gain enough time and enough patient contact hours that I fulfilled all the basic requirements. And in the ER, I was able to actually expand my scope of practice from when I was just an EMT. So I could do things like EKGs, IVs, blood draws, whereas on the ambulance, it was mostly just simple things like taking vital signs, giving oxygen if needed, but it wasn't nearly as procedure-based.
Okay. Did you always know you wanted to work in the emergency room? Because it seems like there's a good progress from the work you did in college and then the work you did in your gap year is?
Yeah, I had no idea that I was going to be doing emergency medicine. I was encouraged by my significant other to get my EMT license when I was in college, and I thought that was just a really good way to start. And then just building off of that, I was thinking, well, I really like the fast-paced atmosphere. I like the intensity of it. And I just thought, this would be a really good thing for me, for my personality type. And also I think it would help my application a lot because, ER being very intense, of course. So yeah, it kind of just things fell into place that way, but I was never really heart set on it. I found that I enjoyed it when I started it.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, it's good that you found something you enjoyed.
Yeah.
I think the worst thing is if you spent your gap years doing something you hated.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people try to, it's always good to get something that's clinically relevant and something that will help your application. But if you're gonna take a gap year, you need to make sure that you're actually working in something that you're interested in. And for me, I really got lucky just knowing that emergency medicine was something that worked for me, and it worked out. I think I applied to over 20 positions at hospitals in Chicago at the time. And I just got a couple of interviews, but things really worked out in the end, and I got a job that was close to my house that had good hours, and I ended up really enjoying it.
We're gonna go into wing number 4. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Oh, this one's kind of drenched.
This is still really good.
This is Los Calientes. It's the Verde.
I
was looking forward to that one.
That might be my favorite so far, actually. It's got kind of a little bit of a green salsa kind of a taste to it. Really good.
Some people go straight into med school after college, but you and I didn't. What was it like being in the workforce fresh out of college?
Honestly, that was probably one of the best experiences I had. I recognized that so I majored in biology and then I was gonna go into medicine. So that worked out for me, but most of the people I was working with were significantly older than me. And that was a great thing because I got to learn from everyone who was above me who had been in the emergency room for so long. So I got a lot of flack for being the newbie and the baby in the ER or whatever you have it, but it was fun. I felt like I was surrounded by people who knew more than me, and I think that's a really good position to put yourself in. You learn the most when you surround yourself with smart people. And
you find like that's a motivating factor?
Oh, absolutely. And you see people in the setting where you're at. For me, it was in the ER, and you see physicians that you say, I want to be like them. I really like how they do their patient care, or I want to make sure that I can convey the empathy that this nurse does, or the skill that this physician or this tech or whatever you have it. You just see a lot of behaviors you want to emulate. Ooh, getting a little bit on that one.
Can we go for the milk? You have ice cream there.
I do have ice cream. I think we're gonna hold off for now. Okay. We're okay. I'm tough.
All right.
This is so far. I'm just feeling the sweat starting just a little bit. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great, actually.
Okay, well that's not a good sign for me.
We'll see you in a couple of minutes.
Okay. Number 5. Here, toast me. Cheers, Plinkety. We're getting...
It's significant. It's a big jump.
That is a... Wow. Sorry.
You're good.
Yeah,
that's a huge jump.
Ooh, there's a tingling on the lips a little bit there.
Oh, really? Oh,
I'm starting to feel it in my nose.
So that one went straight in my mouth.
That one, I took a nice big inhale afterwards, and now it's
oh no, it's stuck.
It's up in the sinuses. Okay, I think we need some milk after that one.
Yes.
That's Whew. Okay, we were born for this, Tony.
Okay, so the next question is...
Yes.
Is there anything you wish you did instead?
Honestly, no. I'm kind of one of those people of everything happens for a reason. I remember being so devastated when I didn't get in the first time. And it really took a lot of the support from the people around me to say look, this is not the end. This is something that you're gonna learn from. And what ended up happening is after I didn't get in, it was around summertime, and come 6 months later, I had started working in the ER during the pandemic. And that ended up being one of the most unique and challenging experiences that I've ever had. To work in a crazy busy emergency room in the middle of COVID was just such a crazy, terrifying, but at the same time really meaningful experience, because when you are faced with that environment, it's you really see how you react under pressure. And it it was kind of that defining moment for me where it's like, I know from this experience that I'm meant to be doing what I'm doing. Like, medicine is right for me. I'm just not in the right position yet. I want to work my way up. But I wouldn't, if I'd gotten in my first year, I would have basically just kind of skipped over COVID. So to have that experience, while it was such a challenging one, the wings are still a little choked up. It was something,
in a position of growth, right?
Absolutely, and really personal growth. That was one of the hardest moments in my life. And there were, I mean, I'm sure you remember on the TV when they had the hospitals, it's like, we're completely overrun. That was what it was like at our place. And you know, we were intubating people in the hallways, and it got really, really bad, and it was very emotionally taxing. But from that experience, you kind of go through this. If I can get through this, I know I can get through anything. And the moments and the connections that you make with people in that sphere, in that arena, are, you know, things that I'll never forget, and things that I take with me as a medical student, and that I'll take with me as a doctor.
It's beautiful. No regrets.
No regrets. Okay. How are you?
Adobo, black lime, ghost peppers.
Ghost peppers. Okay, that's the one that's
this
like
might be the one. This might be the one that hits me.
Well, I'm the one.
Okay. All right, number 6.
Let's do it, Tony. Let's do it.
One, right?
It's this one here. Yeah. Okay. Here. Wait. I need support from the rest of the way on. Okay.
Sink it.
That's good.
It's good. Maybe I didn't put enough in there. Next time.
Oh, now it's hitting.
Oh, it's a slow burn.
Take
another bite.
If I start crying, it's really tasty. I like the flavor a lot. It's smooth like butter.
And you mentioned that you had to take the Mcat twice.
I did.
What was your Mcat experience? How did you prepare, and what was it like having to sign up a second time?
So the first time that I prepared for the Mcat, I took a course through the Princeton Review. It was one of those online courses where you get assigned a professor and they send you all the books and stuff. And for me, that was really difficult the first time because I was studying for the Mcat while also completing my senior year. And at the time, I was leading a research project my senior year, and that was really taking up a lot of my time. So trying to navigate, it's like, okay, first I need to plan to get a job, obviously, for my Mcat. I need to plan on graduating and finishing this project, and then you have this colossal monster that is the Mcat staring you in the face. So that was really difficult for me to try and keep up with that study schedule. And that's probably the reason that I didn't do so well, was that I had too many number one priorities at the time, and I just couldn't. Too many things happening at once. Hats off to all the people who managed to do their undergrad experience and study for the Mcat and do it successfully. That was unfortunately just not in my wheelhouse. It was too many things at once. So
did your strategy change? Because I know I also had to take it twice.
Yeah.
So like, I was also in school at the time, but I think my mentality going into it the second time was more, you need more balance, you need more time to yourself.
Absolutely.
It's just not all grind. Like, what was your shift in mentality?
I definitely hear you on that front. It was a major shift of like, this cannot be something that you study 24 hours a day and then just keep going on the cycle over and over again. It was very much like, we're gonna plan in time for self-care. Like, I'm gonna have 2 hours dedicated to doing nothing related to the Mcat. And that was really, really helpful to have. I think it keeps you sane for sure, which studying while stressed is not a good combination in any sense, not in med school, not when studying for the Mcat. The big thing that changed for me was I put myself on a schedule and I really committed myself to sticking to it. The first time around that I was studying, it was like, I'd get all my school stuff done, I'd get all my job stuff done, and then I would have the Mcat kind of on the back burner. And just making it my number one priority was really something that needed to change, and to stick to that regimented schedule, that helped me a lot. And I improved my score significantly on the second go around.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it. All right.
Where are we? Number 7.
7. So top. Yep. There we go.
Here. Let's
Cheers.
do it.
Oh, I like that one.
It's smoky.
Mm-hmm.
It hits right away though.
Oh yeah. Oh, that one That's another one. You get it in the nose.
Yeah, don't inhale. We're good.
We're good. I'm gonna need some ice cream for that one.
Okay.
Whew.
Let's take some milk.
There we go. The Mcat is harder than this, by the way, significantly. Can you repeat the question? Sorry.
How have you changed during your gap years, and how have you stayed the same?
I think what changed about me was my motivation and drive. I think in college, I was kind of just taking things as they came and saying like, oh, well, I was much more of a procrastinator in college, and working during COVID and studying for the Mcat on such a strict schedule, that very much made me like I get this done, then I can go have fun. And just staying on that schedule was the biggest thing I think that changed for me. What stayed the same was, I don't know, I think I maintained a certain level of, you know, fun and personality wise, I think I stayed relatively the same. I'm kind of a, you know, quirky goofball kind of person. A little bit. We've known each other for what, like 6 weeks now? Yeah. Something like that.
6 months.
6 months. Oh.
Sorry,
Time flies. Time flies. It's been a great 6 weeks with you, Tony. I've just gotten to know you so well.
6 weeks, 6 months.
6 months, something like that. But no, I think you need to stay true to who you are, and I think you always need to just remember why you're doing it. I went into it thinking, of course, you want to help people, but you want to maintain your integrity while you're doing that, and you don't want to get jaded. During the pandemic, there were certainly moments where I felt like I was getting jaded and that my personality was changing. And honestly, what it came down to was I sought some mental health counseling and, you know, reached out to the people around me, of course, and I said, look, I think my job is really starting to get to me on an emotional level. I'm, you know, having panic attacks. I feel like I'm getting angry at work, which is really just not who I am as a person. And it just took a lot of encouragement from those around me to kind of bring me back to that position of this is why you do this. And despite all the negative that's happening around you, you're still making a difference in people's lives. And just to have that affirmation and to regain sight of that, I think was what helped me stay true to who I am, and as both a person and as somebody who is a healthcare worker. So I guess my advice to anyone would be like, the going is gonna get tough, but you just have to always remember, like, this is why I started doing this. This is why I'm gonna keep doing this.
Yeah, I think the toughest thing is to hold on to that.
Absolutely, and there's certainly moments of, you know, you're not gonna be perfect the whole time. I've certainly had moments in healthcare that are not my proudest and things that I would have done differently, but, you know, rather than dwelling on those experiences and saying I'm a bad provider because of this, you got to say I didn't do the right thing in this situation, but I'm going to learn from that and it'll help me do the right thing in the future. Yeah. This is the bomb, isn't it?
The bomb evolution.
I majored in evolutionary biology.
Okay, so this should be like a
right up my
walk
alley.
in the park for you.
Okay.
Right, number 8.
Okay.
This one looks dark.
I was gonna say this one is doused.
I had to scrape some off the spoon, and I was like, this is way too much, and it still looks like a lot. All right.
Okay, here we go. Okay. I'm afraid to breathe in. Oh my God.
It's just like it kicks you in the throat. Oh, it gets worse.
Oh my God, it gets so much worse going down.
Okay, so that's like, this is the big jump here from 4 to 5 and 7 to 8. Oh
Jesus.
my God. The first 7 were fine. I thought this was gonna be like, okay.
Oh, I love you, Tony. In the 6 weeks that we've known each other, we've gotten so close.
There's like, what, 6 more weeks of med school left? The ER is a crazy environment. Can you tell me one like situation that was absolutely just nuts?
Oh my gosh. You might have to cut for a second because I'm gonna need a second to think.
Okay.
It's really bad. Okay.
You in the audience should try this. We have extra.
Oh my God.
You want more milk? Should I have it on standby?
So I think I thought of my
Okay.
situation.
Go for it.
Okay. Wow. wow, it really is in the gums. It's like, it's just more and more intense. Oh my God. Okay,
craziest time in the ER.
Craziest time in the ER.
Or just one crazy
ER experience. So we're in peak COVID, and this was, I just finished doing CPR, and because of COVID, we have to do CPR in our respirators, which makes it really hard to breathe, and CPR is a big workout, and you, of course, and I did 7 rounds of CPR, and I'm leaving the room covered in blood. It was a really messy code, and I got just absolutely covered in blood, and I just remember walking out and the people looking at me like I was a crazy zombie because I'm sweaty, I'm bloody, and I'm like, I want nothing more than to go into the locker room to shower off and get clean, but I see this patient completely naked walk out of his room, which has a big sign on the door that says COVID positive. And it was a very confused elderly man, and having to essentially tackle this very combative, very confused, very COVID positive naked man, and then take him back into his room while still covered in sweat and blood, and at that point, probably tears. And just the whole time being screamed at, saying, God, what did he say? He was just saying like, I'm going home, you can't keep me here. Oh, no. And I want you to go home so bad, buddy. I want that for both of us so bad. But we can't be confident and spreading the Rona all over the ER. So, and then immediately after that, I heard a code blue siren go off. And so ripped off my bloody gown that I had on, put on a new one, and went on to do the next code, which was another 4 or 5 rounds of CPR. And I just remember waking up the next day and I couldn't feel my arms, and I looked at my badge, which I tossed all my clothes in the washing machine, but I'd forgotten about my badge. And I take a look at it, and it's just absolutely, I had to get a new one because it was completely covered in blood.
Oh my God.
And it was like, that was kind of like my badge of honor almost, of like, I made it through 2 codes and wrestled a naked old man, you know? So that was there were honestly quite a few moments where it was like, you just go from one crazy thing after the other and you have no time to catch your breath.
So if that experience was like a 10, how many 10s did you have in your 2 years?
In my 2 years, probably like at least once a week.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So for those who wanting to become an emergency room technician.
But other than the gratification of it, you get great stories.
This one's called Hellfire. It's called Cranked Extreme Black Garlic Reaper Sauce.
The Carolina Reaper, isn't that like the most?
I think so.
That's like the hottest one. Oh my God. The man on the cover here, looking like Detox. Like,
I'm gonna show the camera.
Yeah, this is probably what I'm gonna be looking like after the end of this. Are your lips like tingling?
No, so I'm putting it straight in the mouth. I'm like avoiding.
The thing is, I think I lick my lips too soon afterwards.
Oh, okay, so it's just like back and forth.
Okay, we got into med school.
It can't get much worse.
Fuck it. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh wow.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna go back in because I don't think I got enough. Oh no.
Are your hands like tingling?
No.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm keeping it up here.
You're really bottling it up right now.
I am. I'm just trying to get through this interview.
You got the hard job. You get to be quiet most of the time.
Yeah, you get to enjoy this.
Okay, now this is worse than the Mcat. It's gotten to that point. It was like number 8, I think it was like about the equivalent. Number 9, this was getting that first Mcat score back level of devastation.
Okay. What would you, I don't even know what I'm saying. So during your gap years, what did you do when you weren't working? How did you spend your time, stress relief, things like that?
So I need a sec.
Yeah.
Just a sec.
Me too.
Oh my God. So what did I do during my off time? Honestly, I made as big of an effort to like be as social as possible.
Okay.
I was in Chicago for the first time and just enjoying what we could of it during COVID times.
Yeah, it's a slow burn.
This one is,
back.
I feel like I've got stung by like 100 bees.
Yeah.
There's like, my mouth is buzzing.
I've been into a hive.
Okay, I know I don't want to touch my eyes. So it was really doing the best we could, and I had my amazing boyfriend to support me through it. And he's a PA now, he was in school, so it was just nice having somebody who could relate to like just the stress of being in the medical field during COVID. But I did anything I could to just not think about my job. I would, whether that be something easy like video. I got really into cooking. I loved, that was like my favorite thing to do, would be to like cook for my friends. And then of course during quarantine times when we couldn't do that, I would try to cook for my boyfriend as much as I could.
You did great on these wings, by the way. We cooked together.
I think we might be going into business together after this.
We survive.
This last one is staring at me, and it's got evil eyes.
It's the last dab too, you know what that means? It's on the show for the last dab. They call it the last dab.
Oh, I have to take a fingerful?
You have to put a little dab right on. Shake it up for good measure, and you bite right into it. So I think what I suggest is you just put it on the plate.
And do a dip.
And you dab it into it.
Okay. Billie Eilish did this. I can do this.
Yep. All right, you ready?
I am Billie Eilish.
Let me get the question ready.
Oh boy.
Oh, okay, this is a fun one. Not really.
Oh, nothing's fun right now.
All right.
Jesus.
Get your dab ready.
Dip. Dip and I drip. Toasties.
Oop. I'm like mourning my taste buds right now. You got this. You got this. You're strong.
I'm strong.
There you go.
Worst one ever, by the way. That is...
Okay. Now...
I have to study after this.
We do. We both do. All right, so you made it all the way. 10 wings. Super spicy. What is your #1 advice to all the pre-meds out there?
When your friend Tony asks you to do a wing challenge with him, no matter how fun it sounds at first, the power of no.
The power of no.
Learning, and this is really in medical school, just good advice, learn to say no sometimes. Because sometimes you agree to things because they'd be great opportunities, and then you set your face on fire, and it's not fun.
But did you enjoy this?
You know what, Tony? I did.
And that's what it's all about.
I feel like a warrior right now.
There you go.
My toilet is gonna be a different situation later, but we did this.
Yep, I'm gonna come out over the hill, back on top.
I'm gonna just drink it at this point.
Okay, thank you all for watching. We're gonna go, like, cleanse ourselves.
I think I need maybe like a milk bath sounds great. Stay in school, don't do drugs. If you do drugs, don't do crack. And it's all gonna be okay.
It's all gonna be okay. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
All right.
Love your hair, hope you win.
It's over.